presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Norfolk. We are Minnesota.
The Twins start the month of July in Cincinnati, the series finale, and the series deciding game between the Reds and the Minnesota Twins. The Twins looking for win number 42 on the season. Trevor May looking for some redemption, just a third of an inning in the road trip opener in Milwaukee. Johnny Cueto healthy and pitching like the Cincinnati ace that he is. No weather issues here today, and we're happy to have you at Great American Ballpark. Dick and Bert with you for the series finale. 41 wins for the Twins in the first 3 months, and of course some stand out more than others, particularly the Twins' wins against the likes of Chris Sale, Francisco Liriano, the aces of their staff, and now today they have a chance to go against the Cincinnati ace, Johnny Cueto.
Yeah, for the second time in his career, Johnny Cueto will be facing the Minnesota Twins. He pitched against them back in 2012 here, and he shut the door. He beat Brian Dunsing 6-0. He pitched 6 innings in that ballgame. And this guy is on the trade market for the Cincinnati Reds. A lot of rumors going around. Are the Reds maybe going to trade Cueto? He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. He's going to be somebody's good find if they do.
Can the Twins rise to the challenge against Johnny Cueto and win this series in Cincinnati? A lot of that will depend on how Trevor May does here this afternoon. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Reds kind of coming out one by one here, a little bit surprising. Normally a team takes
it's 12:30.
Well, and that's true because you and I showed up at separate times here in the booth this morning. Johnny Cueto will make the start for the Reds. A long night for everybody. The game started 2 hours and a minute late, and we didn't get out of here till close to 1 o'clock last night. Paul Molitor, I think, very happy with where his team is at right now. They are suffered through a disappointing month of June. Of course, had a losing record in the month of April. But now the challenge with a new month, putting together a winning month and trying to separate themselves from a glut of teams that are having very similar records so far. Here's the Menards batting order for the final game here in Cincinnati. Dozier, Nunez, Rosario hitting third. And then Plouffe, Vargas, and Herman, Santana, Robinson, and May. No Joe Mauer, no Torrey Hunter.
And the Twins offense will have their work cut out for him here this afternoon. Johnny Cueto, 29-year-old, on the mound making his 15th start. He's in his 8th season with the Cincinnati Reds. A lot of people here in Cincinnati might feel that, as I mentioned in the open, that this guy might get traded before the trading deadline. Having a very solid year again. A 20-game winner last year. Not getting a lot of run support. That's why the 4-5 record.
And the Northland Ford defense for the Reds. Marlon Byrd in left, Billy Hamilton in center, Jay Bruce in right. Frazier, Suarez, Phillips back in the lineup for the Reds. And Votto, they're the infielders, and Brian Pena behind the plate.
Cueto has nasty stuff. He'll get that fastball in the mid-90s. He's got a little cutter like a slider, curveball, very good changeup.
Here's Dozier to start the game, and the first pitch on the outside corner, a strike.
He's a guy that will work, say, between 88 and 92, but then when he needs to, he has that little extra.
Pop up wide of first, and Votto crosses the line for the first out. And we'll bring up Nunez. Nunez in at short. Hunter Wendelstedt, second generation umpire. He's got the plate. Ben May will be at first base with Trevor May on the mound. Bob Davidson at second. David Rackley at third. Here's Nunez.
Nunez, good night at the plate last night. 3 hits. He drove in a run, scored a couple runs. Twins ended up winning last night 8-5 over the Reds to even the series.
2-3 on the road trip. A win here today obviously gets them a 500 record going into the 4 games in Kansas City. Big swing and a miss, 1-1.
Now, Cueto will give you that almost where you see his number in the back, number 47, almost a Louis Tiant type delivery. And a little hesitation.
Down and in, 2-1.
And they say what he'll do is he'll do that, and then he'll quick pitch too. So you have to be ready to face this tough right-hander. He has been really tough here, especially at home.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
This is his 209th major league start, his 97th here at Great America Ballpark, and he's 47-22 with an ERA under 3.
Nunez gets a piece to keep the at-bat alive. A free agent after this year, and that's why the Reds are reportedly considering trade offers for Cueto. Mike Leake, the starter the other night, in the same situation, just not that high of a profile.
There, you see what he did right there. Instead of the big turn, he just kind of went toward home plate. That's why you have to be ready, and I think the scouting report for the Twins will show this. Watch, we haven't see the big turn there. He just kind of steps and throws to try to freeze the hitter. There's the turn.
And the pop up. And Pena back, has no play. When you think about it, the whole idea of pitching is to mess up the hitter's timing, and we focus on the speed of the baseball doing that, but really you can start messing up with a hitter's timing before you ever release the baseball.
Yep, and that's what Cueto tries to do. They say he's a very, very intelligent pitcher as far as making the adjustments and finding out what's working for him and what's not that particular day.
Swing and a miss, a strikeout of Nunez, 2 down.
Cueto is a strikeout pitcher over his career, averaging about 8 strikeouts per 9 innings. He just went after Nunez right here after a lot of off-speed stuff. He just overpowers Nunez and picks up his strikeout.
With Mauer and Hunter out of the lineup, Rosario gets a chance in the 3rd spot on the lineup. He'll be followed by Plouffe. foul over the Twins dugout. 1 strike.
5 hits in Rosario's last 11 at bats. 4 for 8 so far in the first 2 ball games here.
Swing and a miss. He pulled a couple of liners to right for a base hit. And a pitch in the inner half of the plate and missed it. 0-2. 151 at bats and 42 hits. 5 doubles, 2 triples, 4 home runs. And a pop up near the Twins dugout, and Frazier may have a play. Oh, in his glove, out of his glove, and then Frazier nearly tumbled into the Twins dugout. Great effort by Todd Frazier.
Yeah, I think it was Mike Pelfrey down there that, you know, it's kind of okay. You give him room to try to make a great catch. And once Frazier kind of went over the railing, there's Pelfrey, Robinson right there, try to help him that he doesn't end up hurting himself. Guy's got an all-star game to attend here.
2 strikes to Rosario, and a drive to left center field. Retreating is Bird, and on the edge of the track makes a catch. It's a 1-2-3 first for Johnny Cueto. Trevor May will take the mound for the Twins when we come back. This series in their home ballpark where they're 21-15. Menard's batting order for the Reds: Brandon Phillips back in the lineup, back in the leadoff spot, then Joey Votto, Todd Frazier, Jay Bruce, Brian Pena, Marlon Byrd, Eugenio Suarez, Johnny Cueto hitting 8th, the pitcher, and then Billy Hamilton 9th.
And Trevor May on the mound. You know, a lot of times we'll talk about a closer that, you know, has a bad outing and he wants to get right back out there. Sometimes as a starter, when you have a bad outing, you have to wait 4 or 5 days. And Trevor May had to do that after that poor outing in Milwaukee, where he was only able to get 1 out in that loss to the Brewers, where the Twins lost 10-4.
Phillips takes strike 1. He's missed the first 2 games of this series with a thumb issue on each hand. Twins with a pull shift in the infield. There's a high pop up to short left. Running in is Robinson for the catch, 1 away. Robinson didn't play yesterday because of flu-like symptoms. First thing this morning, well, it wasn't the first thing because we were still here at the ballpark last night. First thing in the morning. Second or third thing in the morning, he told the trainers he was ready to go today.
Good.
1 down. Northland Fort defense for the Twins. A different look with Robinson, Santana, and Rosario across the outfield. Plouffe, Nunez, Dozier, Vargas, the infielders, and Chris Herman behind the plate. Outside, ball 1 to Votto.
If you haven't seen Trevor May pitch before, he has a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seamer. That looked like the 2-seamer, the sinker, down and away. Slider, curveball, hard curveball, and a very good changeup.
Things got off to a bad start in Milwaukee. They kept getting worse and worse and worse. He contributed to the awful first inning with a critical throwing error. Ended up going through the batting order once and only getting one out. And a strike, 2-1.
That's all learning experience for a young pitcher. And May, 25 years old. This is only his 24th major league start. So this game will bring you to your knees at times. Trevor Plouffe now moved from third over toward up the middle.
2-1. 2-2. Do I remember you saying that if you had a really awful start that you kind of punished yourself with some extra running?
Yeah, I did. But I was a distance runner in high school, and I kind of carried that throughout my career. So anytime that I felt that, you know, I needed a punishment for my body, I wanted my mind over my body. And
oh boy,
I know it's really hard, but yeah, I was hard on myself.
Inside 3-2.
Because you expect so much. You know, you're at the top level and you expect perfection every time out. You're not going to get it. But what you do is when you do have a poor outing, you get yourself mentally ready for that next start to prove that I belong here. Every day you're out there is a gut check, more or less.
In addition to the pressure you might feel if you only get to play once every 5 days, for May there's the intrigue of what's going to happen on Sunday. Ervin Santana will rejoin the starting rotation. The Twins have said that they really don't want to, certainly in the long term, go to a 6-man rotation. It's possible someone will be moved out of the rotation, and of course May would be one of those candidates.
And he cannot control that. All he can control is what he's doing with that baseball in his hand right now.
One hopper picked up by Nunez, and Vargas with a dig at the other end. 2 down.
Yeah, nice little play by Nunez that had to go to his right to get that sharp little one hopper. And kind of didn't really put a lot on his throw right here. But Vargas over there getting that one hop for the second out.
Todd Frazier will bat with the bases empty. Well, Paul Molitor talked about that. Of course, it's been the topic of discussion. What will the Twins do with the rotation? And is this a key start for Trevor May? And Paul told it as it is. You know, he's just got to have the mindset that today, on this Wednesday, he's got a chance to help his team win a ball game. And that's probably good advice for any pitcher on any given day.
Any day. Like I said, it's an audition. It's going out there and proving that you belong, whether you're a 20-year veteran or you're a rookie like Trevor May.
And within May's season, there have been some brilliant outings. The awful one against Milwaukee, but in the start before that against the Cubs, 1 run over 6 innings.
Yeah, he had that one at Fenway Park. Remember in Game 2 that he pitched 7 shutout innings and won that ball game 2-0.
Earlier in June, Kansas City's the best team in the league. Well, May, 6 innings, 1 run allowed. Against the Red Sox, 7 innings, no runs allowed. So the talent is there. 2 strikes to Frazier, getting a new bat. And that landed in front of the batter's box. 1-2.
Chris Herman catching Trevor May here this afternoon. Kurt Suzuki last couple nights have been beat up behind home plate. So he gets the day off as of now. And Herman's done a good job of handling the staff.
That got Hunter Wendelstedt, I think. Foul ball. Still 1-2. Umpires were here late last night too.
Yeah.
Everybody operating on 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and if Hunter Wendelstedt was a little groggy, he's awake now.
17-year-old major league, 17 years of major league experience for Wendelstedt.
You must have had his father for an umpire.
Well, he was in the National League. I don't remember if I was. I'm sure he was umpiring. I don't remember if he was behind the plate for me at any time when I was with the Pirates for 3 years.
1-2.
Now, of course, the umpires rotate. There is no American League, National League umpires anymore.
High fastball gets Frazier, and it's a good first inning for Trevor May. Trevor Plouffe will lead things off for the Twins in the second. Of us. No score going to the second, and today's cold hard facts are brought to you by clean, crisp Coors Light. Johnny Cueto among the very best in the National League since 2011. And you can imagine the haul that the Reds might be able to get if they do trade Cueto for the final months of this season, and then he jumps into the free agent pool and anybody can bid for his services. Plouffe with a looper to right center. It's down for a hit. First hit of the game, and the Twins cleanup hitter Trevor Plouffe has it, and that'll bring Vargas to the plate.
Well, what clubs will get when they get Johnny Cueto is a guy that last year led all of baseball in innings pitched with over 243 innings pitched. Fastball that stayed inside, and Trevor just kind of fought it off and hit it softly into right center.
The leadoff man is on, and that'll bring up Kenny Vargas. Really struggling from the left side of the plate this time around, and he lines one sharply on the ground into right field. So he jumps on the first pitch, and the Twins have a pair of hits here in the second inning against Cueto.
Yeah, Vargas only hitting 176, but 3 of his 5 home runs from the left side. And Cueto's going to throw strikes. Very good control. That ball down about knee high. And Vargas, good swing, finds that hole into right field, and Plouffe stops at second.
Let's see how the Twins play it here. Herman doesn't get a chance to play much, and as a result of that hasn't hit much. Santana behind Herman in the batting order. Not much speed on the bases, with Plouffe at second having average speed, and Vargas a little bit below that at first.
Yeah, Chris Herman does have 1 sacrifice on the year.
And there's a bunt in the air. And on one pitch, Herman is retired.
To be honest with you, that's a ball that maybe you want to let drop right there and maybe throw it to third and second for the force outs. Herman was running out of the box, so you can't, throw to second and first. But right here, Cueto has a chance to maybe let that ball drop, and then you throw to your third baseman, Frazier, and then you throw to second because Vargas has to take off for second. Instead, he catches it, and there's 1 out.
Looked like a perfectly good pitch to bunt, and Herman just popped it in the air. Paul Molitor the other day bemoaning the poor bunting on this Twins squad this year, either for hits or for sacrifices. Here's Santana.
And I think that's what we've seen over the years. The art of bunting is deteriorated in baseball. I mean, even a guy like Santana with his speed. You know, we saw Billy Hamilton really start the offense the other night here for Cincinnati with the bunt base hit in first inning.
We've seen the opposition drop down a safety squeeze, a suicide squeeze. Up and away 1-1. When
if you're a guy like Danny Santana, I'm sorry, I'm going to come out every day and I'm going to get that machine that throws about 90 miles an hour. I don't need an arm. I need that machine. And I work on my bunting because you can get maybe 10, 15 extra hits a year if you can bunt. I remember Brett Butler in Cleveland, and he was a great bunter. He told me he would get 15 to 20 bunts a year. That was his goal. And that was the difference between hitting 270 and 290, maybe 300.
1-2 to Santana. Twins trying to break out on top here after a pair of singles to start the second. And just missing the inside corner. It's 2-2. You can argue the value of a sacrifice bunt, but I think what would have happened had Herman laid it down, the Reds might very well have brought the infield in early in the ball game. This is, at least you'd anticipate this being a low scoring game.
Right, but what you do is you put the Reds on the defense.
Right,
they have to, bring the infield in if that's what they decide to do. Cuts down the range of the infielders. But this is a tough guy to hit right here. Opponents coming into this ball game. This is his 15th starter, hitting only 204. Left-handers only 175 against Cueto.
Santana strikes out. And that'll bring up Shane Robinson.
Cueto again. Lefties hitting only 175. Right-handers only 230. It's almost like he threw a changeup right there, and Santana just swung through it. Cueto picks up his second strikeout.
The theory that you just don't get many opportunities to score against guys like Cueto. Now it's up to Robinson to take advantage of the two singles that opened the inning. Shane scratched from the lineup last night, becoming ill before the game. Takes up ball one. And I think knowing the situation, with the Twins carrying 13 pitchers and Hunter needed a break, raised his hand and said, yeah, I want to play. And now outside 2-0. Here a base is open, but it's third base and Trevor May on deck.
This again, the difference between the American League and the National League with a pitcher on deck.
The ball hit to short left.
Looks like May will lead off.
Bird with the catch. Plouffe left at second. Vargas at first. Last night's starter and winner Phil Hughes will join us from the dugout when we come back. from the dugout. And Phil, it's 3 really good starts in a row for you, and you got to be happy with how things have developed for you through the month of June.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks. I mean, kind of a slow start, but happy to kind of be back on track and hopefully carry this through the break.
Well, I'm going to defend you as a former pitcher. In the month of April, you were 0-4, but you had an ERA of 4.5, the same ERA you had in the month of May when you were 4-0. So, yeah, I mean, you've been pretty steady. Anything that you see a ball hit off of Vargas?
Dozier won't have a play, and where did it hit Kenny Vargas? Hopefully around the shoulder area. It'll be leadoff base hit, I suspect, for Bruce.
Yeah, it kind of rolled it. Vargas dove for it, went to his right, and it kind of looked like it hit off his arm. See if he got glove on it right here. Yeah, ball came up a little bit right off the glove and then deflected high to Dozier.
Hit him in the head.
Yeah, a little bad hop.
Lucky he didn't get it around the mouth or the eyes.
Now, anything that, Phil, that you can say that has, turned your season around more or less?
Well, I mean, fastball velocity hasn't been there all year, and it's something I rely heavy on. But once I talked to Neil about how we're going to get through this, I kind of made the decision that I have to, pitch a little bit better and not rely on my fastball so much. And I think that's been the difference. I've moved my cutter in and out and thrown curveballs when I needed to, incorporated a changeup here and there, and it's really helped me out a lot, I think.
Well, you've always been blessed with really good control, and you did great last year with that control, and you're doing it again this year now. Are you that concerned, really? I mean, we had you at 91, 92 last night, but it's all about spotting the ball for you, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean,
a base hit to right, and the Reds start their second inning like the Twins did with a pair of singles.
But I mean, when I'm right, it's 93, 94, and that's kind of something that I know I'll get back to. But for now, I have to try and find a way to get by without that, and so far it's been all right.
Well, it makes you think a little bit more and be a little more perfect in that little cutter, say, in on a right-hander. Now, I didn't think you had that in April as well as you did last year, but you seem to be doing a better job of that cutter, especially on both sides of the plate.
Yeah, that's something I really didn't have early on. Like you said, I couldn't, locate that cutter and freeze guys like I'd like to. And these guys have the report on me now after not walking too many guys last year. They're going to be aggressive early in counts.
Bird, the batter, first and second, and he swings and fouls it back.
And you can use that to your advantage by just being off the plate a little bit. And they're not going to hit a strike. They're going to hit a ball maybe a couple inches off.
Absolutely. I've noticed that over the last few starts. I'm getting a lot more swings at pitches off the plate because guys are, amped up for a first pitch fastball, and they're swinging early.
You got a big double play last night on the mound, and let's see if Trevor May can get one here.
That would be nice.
Up and in, 1-1.
Hey, Phil, I'm going to mention a guy like Trevor May. You've been around the block. Trevor May, young guy, then he's got a lot of your, say, pitches that you featured. Does he get a chance? Does he sit down with you and pick your brain a little bit?
A little here and there. There's a lot of similarities. He's got a good rising fastball, 4 pitches. I feel like his secondary stuff is better than mine was, especially at that age. So, if he ever has questions or things like that, I try to help him out. But he's got a good idea. He knows how to pitch, and he's got a great changeup, which I have never had. So he's got all the weapons for sure.
And past Nunez into left field. Bruce to third. He'll be held there, and the Reds start the inning with 3 straight hits. Hey, Phil, I want to ask you something, and I hope it's not a touchy subject. When the Twins decided to change managers and pitching coaches, you expressed, if I can use the word shame, you were very disappointed and thought it was up to the players who should have played better. But within that, you were around Rick Anderson. I know you gave Rick an awful lot of credit for your success last year. What has the transition been like for you to go from Rick Anderson, who was instrumental to your success last year, to a different pitching coach in Neil Allen this year?
Yeah, it's been fairly seamless. I think he's helped out a lot of the guys here, and you never want to see old coaches, managers go, because, like you alluded to, it's always the players' fault, and they just get the brunt of it. But obviously we played a lot better this year, and the pitching staff's picked us up, and it's been fun to watch. But Neil's done a great job. He's come in here. Everybody feels very comfortable with him.
Suarez, the batter, ball 1. May having a difficult start to his second inning like the first inning was in Milwaukee on Friday.
Needs a pop-up. Something good to happen here.
There's a
There's
pop-up.
a pop-up that's toward our way.
1-1 now. Suarez, the 7th place hitter, and Brian Price deciding to go with his pitcher hitting 8th, Cueto. So this is a really important guy. If May can get him, keep the ball in the infield without a run scoring, then you can go after the pitcher, who happens to be a pretty good hitting pitcher, as Phil Hughes was last night. 3 credible at bats last night.
Yeah, how many guys did I leave on base? That's always fun. Chance to help myself out, and I couldn't do it.
Hey, but you hit the ball sharply a couple of times. You put it in play 3 times.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
And now you're done for the year.
Yeah,
it's like riding a bike, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can wait till next year, hopefully get my first hit.
1-2 to Suarez. And May, who can strike out people, hoping to get one here before the pitcher hits.
Hey, Phil, while I got you here, and we're going to let you go here in a second, but with the transition of new pitching coaches, I know Neil Allen has really, said, hey, I want you guys to throw that changeup. You're not a changeup type guy, but I see it off your curveball.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, a curveball can act like a changeup, and I have thrown some changeups here and there, and that's the biggest thing. It's just, there you go.
Big strikeout. Yes.
Yep.
It's just, kind of giving guys a better idea, and he really brings that. He really brings the mental side of what a hitter's looking for, and that's always helpful. Just to know what sequences you want to use, and not just go up there and throw pitches because that's what's put down. And I think the guys are, really taking to that and having a better idea of what they want to do, and that's always nice.
The art of adding and subtracting, that's what Neil Allen, I think, has brought over. Rick Anderson did the same thing, but you also need healthy pitchers to do that. And I think you got to be proud of everybody in your rotation right now that's in the rotation. They've all done a great job.
Absolutely. It's nice when you have guys coming back off the DL, and it leaves you with a lot of tough decisions.
Phil, we thank you for your time, and we're going to let you go and watch Johnny Cueto strike out. Okay?
Sounds good. How about a little double play here?
There we go.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Cueto, 5 hits, 25 at bats. This is his best hitting season. He's typically a 100 hitter. And a safety squeeze. We saw the Brewers do that with Kyle Loesch at the plate, but no harm done because the pitch was down and away, and Cueto let it go.
Yeah, that was with Segura at third base, and he's pretty quick. Jay Bruce, not Segura.
And this is a different situation, too. Bases are loaded. It's a force play. A little bit easier to get an out when a tag isn't required. 1-1 to Cueto. Foul back, 1-2. This year, Cueto, 5 hits, 25 at bats, 4 sacrifice bunts, and only 6 strikeouts. But in his career coming into the year, a 101 hitter with 114 strikeouts and 347 at bats.
Okay, would he be a number 1 in your Stratomatic game?
Yeah, he would be a pitcher hitting card number 1.
Okay. And I'm still upset at you. I am at least a 2. I know I am.
And a strikeout, and on the follow through, Cueto whacks Herman. Everybody good, 2 down. But it's interesting. This is the nightmare, I guess, that you fear as a manager when you bat the pitcher 8th. This is the worst possible scenario because now May has back-to-back strikeouts and the bases are still loaded.
Yeah, you see Cueto's bat as the follow-through right there, getting the left hand, the glove hand of Chris Herman.
Cueto batting 8th, and that's done because Billy Hamilton is in the lineup, and they like that, second leadoff hitter type of lineup. But it may backfire on the Reds here if May can get Hamilton and leave the bases full.
And again, Trevor Plouffe has to come in on the grass because of the possible bunt of Hamilton. And Vargas even with the bag at first.
One of those situations where there are forces everywhere. And you don't have to get Hamilton at first base when you can get a force play at any other base. Strike 1. So you hope a guy who hasn't proven to be an accomplished hitter does swing away here, but at the same time, if he bunts, you don't have to try to get him. You need to get an out on any of the bases. 1 strike. And now a ball. Hamilton with an on-base percentage of just .271. Got on base 4 times in the opener, twice last night, once on an error. Although that ruling now has been changed, right?
That's what we were told. I guess we'll wait and see. They gave him a base hit on Nunez's ball that he had to kind of catch in between hops.
1-1. That's to center. And Santana is there. Great job by Trevor May.
Way to bear down.
Not just limiting damage, eliminating it altogether. And we are scoreless heading to the 3rd.
Busy getting ready for this year's All-Star Game, which is less than 2 weeks away. Now, if you walk around the Cincinnati area, you'll find all kinds of giant mustache statues. There are at least 20 of them that were built specifically for the Midsummer Classic, and it's all to pay tribute to Cincinnati's first team, the first team ever in professional baseball, actually, the 1869 Cincinnati Red Stockings. All the players on that team sported handlebar mustaches, so that has become a theme not only for the Reds team, but for this year's All-Star Game. Again, less than 2 weeks away, Tuesday, July 14th on Fox from Great American Ballpark.
Well, thank you, Jamie. This is a great baseball town as Trevor May takes strike 1. And I guess the equivalent of that last year was the Peanuts sculptures that the Twins had. Here's a ball lifted, foul, and out of play.
We have contact.
0-2.
Yeah, it's quite the experience, and we saw it last year in Minneapolis when you get the opportunity to host an All-Star Game. Now, you're going to ask me about Trevor May and his batting gloves, and you just saw why he wears batting gloves. Probably a sponsor. I don't know whose gloves they are. Maybe you got a set of golf clubs out of it. Who knows?
So that's why he's wearing them. Not protect his hands at all.
No.
And there's a called third strike. May is a strikeout victim, 1 down.
And strikeout number 3 in a ball game for Johnny Cueto.
Little rain during the home run derby last year, but by all accounts, the Twin Cities, the Twins, Major League Baseball did a phenomenal job last year with the All-Star Game at Target Field. And Mike Trout got things going in the right direction for the American League.
You know, so cool. There's a ground ball to short. Suarez for the second out, but what was so cool is the way the game ended. You know, everything around it was great, but for Perkins to throw to Suzuki and for the American League to win, it was a perfect final touch.
Well, the Reds might have their closer out there, or Aroldis Chapman. I don't know that they'll have his battery mate in the All-Star Game. 2 quick outs here in the 3rd, and now Nunez. I was at the All-Star Game in '85 at the Metrodome, and of course the All-Star Game itself. Well, you were there too. You were playing it. Jabbed at, strike 1. The All-Star Game itself wasn't the
multi-day spectacle that it has become. One strike to Nunez, and now strike two.
And again, another hurried up delivery rather than showing his number. He just kind of sped up and threw that ball home. And Nunez, is he asking for time?
I think he's done it twice, both times to Nunez. Fouled away. It'll reach the seats.
I remember when Jim Cott got traded over to the White Sox. Kitty did that, get on the rubber as soon as that batter stepped in the batter's box. Kitty, 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 threw that ball toward home plate. He won 20 games 2 years in a row.
It was part of a conversation. I was the listening part, but when he ran into Bob Boone years later when Jim was broadcasting games, they reminisced about how when Boone would back up first base on a play in the infield, he would flash the sign as he was running back to home plate. That's how quick the pace was. They wanted to eliminate any time they could, and Boone would run by, and on his right thigh he would flash 1, 2, or 3, whatever the pitch was, so that when he got into the crouch he was ready to throw.
Yeah, that last time Cueto got to that balance point and held it for a little bit rather than the quick look him, hold it right there, and then he throws. So giving that hitter so many different looks.
The ball hit pretty hard to center field. Retreating is Hamilton, and he's there to make a catch. 3 up, 3 down, third for Cueto.
NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here.
No score, bottom of the third inning. The Twins got a couple of singles to start the second and didn't score. The Reds got 3 singles to start their half of the second and did not score. And now Brandon Phillips will lead off the third against Trevor May.
Yeah, Trevor did a great job working out of that situation in the second. Now he hopes to have a 1-2-3 inning here in the third, as Cueto did.
Breaking ball over for strike one. I was interested to hear Phil Hughes describe May as saying, well, you know, his secondary stuff is better than mine was at that stage of my career. And therein lies the dilemma for the Twins if they, on Sunday or eventually, go down to 5 starters. If May has the components to be a good pitcher, and I guess Phil Hughes at least feels he does, he's throwing 93, 94 miles per hour with better secondary stuff.
Well, he's also your teammate. He's not going to say, no, this guy's terrible.
I know that. But if the components are there, the only thing May needs is mound time, experience at this level. And so you can understand why the Twins are in a wonderful situation on the one hand, because they have pitching depth that they've not had in many years.
Amen.
In terms of the starting rotation. But you don't want to do anything to retard the development of somebody who might be a part of your rotation for many years to come. Outside, 2-2.
Well, we saw 2 curveballs, then we saw the fastball up, and then that last pitch, the slider. So, you know, May has a tendency, a lot like Phil Hughes, to pitch up in the strike zone, not a ground ball pitcher. I'd like to see a little better angle at times, keep that ball down in the zone. He's a strong kid.
Breaking ball, whack past Blue from down the line.
And he left that curveball up. You got to drop that curveball right on top of the plate.
That ball runs around in the corner, and now Robinson gets it in time to hold Phillips to a double, who was thinking about a triple.
Yeah, they had that mat down that left field line, and it kind of got between the bottom of the wall there and the mat, and Robinson had to fight it until it almost came out. So the hanging breaking ball right here hit sharply by Phillips right down into that corner. And watch that ball just kind of hug, almost like a hockey puck on the rink right there. He finally gets it in, and Robinson showed off his strong arm right there as Phillips thought about going to third, but decides on his 8th double of the year.
Well, the power for the Reds, Votto, Frazier, and Bruce, with Phillips at second and nobody out.
Yeah, Phillips' hands didn't look like it bothered him when that breaking ball hung right there.
Down and in, ball 1, and Herman will take the ball back to the mound.
I have just seen a little bit of inconsistency from Trevor May, and that is I think, the learning experience that he has to go through. Again, not a lot of innings pitched at the major league level, just over 120 innings at this level. He's averaged about 2.8 walks per 9 innings, and good thing on his part, he's averaged over 8 innings or 8 strikeouts per 9.
1-0 to Votto. May had to bear down and get a couple of strikeouts when he really needed them in the second inning, and now he might be in that situation here with Votto. May with just under a strikeout per inning pitched.
Yeah, Votto hit 3 fly ball outs last night against Phil Hughes, and all the pitches were away, hard away. A couple to left field, a couple or 1 to center. Step off. Nunez kind of just stood there at second base, trying to keep Phelps close to second. And May did the right thing. He did the spin around, but a lot of times when you see your infielder standing at second, you're not supposed to just step off.
2-0. That gets by Herman, and Phillips will end up at third anyway. A wild pitch that will send Phillips to third.
Herman, I believe, sitting down and away. He wants that ball away, and the ball ends up down and in. It's past Herman. May will be a wild pitch. Ball, I think that probably should have been caught.
3-0 to Votto. Twins playing the infield back here. Frazier on deck. High pop-up, short left field. Robinson will try to throw right down the baseline. Here's the throw, and not in time. Strong throw by Robinson, but the wild pitch leads to a run.
Yeah, great effort right there by Robinson. He got behind that ball like you're supposed to make a good throw. And Phillips, with his speed, the only reason the Reds are taking a 1-0 lead. Little slower runner. He might have been out at home, but he sets up nice, makes a good strong throw on the infield side. And Herman, a quick tag, but Phelps just beating the throw.
So 1-0 with 1 out. And that'll bring up Todd Frazier. May struck him out to end the first inning. Check swing on a foul ball, I believe. 1 strike.
Last couple games we've highlighted Todd Frazier on where he is rank wise as extra base hits. All of baseball, he leads in extra base hits. And
did Frazier make contact? The scoreboard now has changed it to 0-1. So we believe that was a foul tip. And now up and away 1-1.
Frazier in his 5th season with the Reds, their #1 pick back in 2007 out of Rutgers University.
On the ground, a few hops to Plouffe. Low throw dug out by Vargas again. 2 down. Bring up Jay Bruce, but first it's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag NorthDataStrongFan, and you might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. 2 down, and now Jay Bruce. We talk about one outing really inflating an earned run average. We generally talk about relief pitchers who, like Casey Fien the other day, didn't retire a batter, gave up 4 runs, and his ERA might not recover for the rest of the year. But May had a start like that. With all those earned runs, retiring just 1 batter Friday in Milwaukee, his ERA went up by more than half a run. Towering pop up near third base. Nunez is over there. The Reds get the first run thanks to a leadoff double by Brandon Phillips. Celebrate Diversity Day, presented by the Prairie Island Indian Community. The first 10,000 fans through the gates get a Twins drawstring backpack, courtesy of Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Go to twinsbaseball.com. Get your tickets today. The Twins will be playing the Baltimore Orioles, who have the identical record now as the Minnesota Twins. And there are a lot of teams right about where the Twins are in the standings. We talked about this last night. Remarkably, there are 10 teams in the American League with winning records, 15 teams in the league. But teams 3 through 10 are separated by a game and a half. So there really is a logjam in there. Here's a ball whacked foul by Rosario. You've got Kansas City with the best record in the league, and Houston is 2.5 games, I guess, behind Kansas City. And then everybody else. It's really been a remarkable first 3 months in that regard.
What's amazing about all those 10 teams, you get hot for a week, say you win 6 out of 7, all of a sudden you're in first place.
And there will be separation. 1-1 to Rosario. Swing and a miss. Paul Molitor talked about the things that separate teams, starting with the beginning of July. It won't be this way all year long. Some teams will fade down to and underneath the 500. Other teams will, as we've seen Baltimore do it the last couple of years, the Indians, they get better in the second half. And Rosario chases another high fastball one away.
And Cueto picks up his 4th strikeout. So Cueto here this afternoon just changing his delivery almost on every pitch now. That time he kind of held it a little bit longer. And then that high fastball that Rosario chases out of the strike zone.
Trevor Plouffe with a single his first time up. Molitor was talking about things that separate teams in the second half of a season, and he knows this from his perspective as a player, as a coach, and now a manager. He said sometimes it might be a trade. Sometimes it might be a return to health or getting a player back through one means or another, meaning Irvin Santana.
Remember when the Twins got Stewart?
Shannon Stewart. That was a trade, yeah. 1-1 to Plouffe. Chopper to short. Backpedaling Suarez, firing across 2 down. But Paul did say one thing that he thinks is in his club's favor, and that is the mental toughness to keep competing. First he said, you know, sometimes mentally you just have to be tougher than the other teams. And so then I asked him this morning, you got to feel for your team. And he says that's one of the things he's proudest of, that this team has responded very well to a bad loss or a disappointing game. And we've seen that on this road trip. Nothing could be more disappointing to start a long road trip than your starter only going a third of an inning. But the Twins came back and won the second game.
But I think you have to credit his coaching staff too.
Oh, sure.
Guys like Tom Verdansky that have been through the ups and downs. A pitching coach like Neil Allen that has a lot of major league experience on that mound to say, hey, you're going to have bad games. It's how you come, you know, to the ballpark the next day. Are you still got your head down, or are you saying, okay, it's a new day, let's go, let's win a ball game? So that goes from the manager to his coaching staff. And then that filters into the players, and then you add a Torrey Hunter in there, and all things are good.
Outside, 2-2.
So yeah, you have the tough makeup of individuals, but every club has that. I mean, you don't get to this level unless you're tough. You come here with a weak mind and you're negative, well, you're not going to perform very well at this level, and you probably will never get to the big leagues.
2-2 to Vargas.
He did a little shake right there on that pitch. Threw a changeup and picked up his 5th strikeout. Cueto is on here this afternoon.
Since the 2 singles, he's retired 9 men in a row.
The mound opponent like Trevor May, and I'm watching Cueto go about his business. 5 strikeouts. He's retired the last 9 in a row. I go out there and I face guys like that, like Catfish Hunter or Ferguson Jenkins on your mound opponent. You know that they're on. You better not make a mistake after this. It's a 1-0 right now, Twins lead, and Trevor May cannot make any more mistakes because Cueto was on here.
Remember when we were here last and Cueto pitched, and the Twins told Samuel DeDuno to watch Cueto and maybe incorporate some of his animation into his delivery to make an arm that might even be superior to Cueto's a little more effective just by watching how he varies his delivery.
I don't care if you're a left-hander or right-hander. You watch pitchers of the opposing team and your own teammate.
Santana to the gap, makes the catch, 1 away.
Nice running catch by Santana.
We'll bring up Marlon Byrd with 1 gone in the 4th. Carsoup.com trivia. What is the Minnesota Twins record for wins in the month of July?
Well, hopefully we break it, whatever it is, this month.
So what is the Twins record? That would mean a 1 or for wins. So we just need a win total. And for questions like that, we get a plus or minus of 3. We have very liberal
I'll say 20
grading on these questions. You'll say 20, so we're covered from
17 to 23.
17 to 23. Well, I'll take 26 then. I don't even think they played 26 games with the All-Star break, so I'll go low. I'll say 15.
Okay.
Up around the hands, 1-1. I wonder, and I don't know this, but I wonder whether it might not be the 1991 season. The Twins had the 15-game winning streak in June, but I vividly remember a 4-game series in Boston where the Twins swept all 4 games in 91 against the Red Sox, part of a very good month of July that year as well. 1-2. Twins want to have a winning July. April was a losing month. June was a losing month, but 20 wins in the month of May got them above the 500 mark, and they're in need of another winning month here in July.
Oh, good pitch. Wow. Froze Bird right there. May with a big strikeout. Second out here, his 4th strikeout. That's that hard breaking ball we see from May. Watch the bite on this. Straight down. And watch Bird's reaction. Whoop.
2 down, and now Eugenio Suarez. Strike 1 over the inside corner. One thing that fans, players, that's ball spinning up the line, and it'll stay in the grass foul. Fans, players, broadcasters all like is May's pace out there. He doesn't waste any time. He keeps things moving along. So too does Cueto.
Well, we've had May on the air like we did Phil Hughes, and Trevor says that, you know, he likes watching Phil Hughes pitch because he does seem to almost have that same type of mentality out there. A guy that attacks the strike zone, that does work quick. Little hesitation there. I think he and Herman. Maine wants to throw something, and now Herman putting down the sign that May wants.
Good inning for Trevor May.
Changeup.
A 1-2-3 fourth with a pair of strikeouts, and it's 1-0 Cincinnati. Tough time figuring this guy out.
Well, there's really can't. All you have to do is wait for the ball, because if you prior to him letting go of that ball, he'll do a lot of different deliveries. A speed up delivery, then he'll get in pause in his delivery. And I like this last one right here, the one to Vargas. Little shake. I saw him smiling coming off the mound too. Like, where did that come from?
Outside, ball 1 to Chris Herman. Herman tried to bunt after the Twins started the second inning with a pair of singles. Herman tried to drop down a sacrifice, but he popped it up. Cueto caught it, and then Cueto struck out Santana, got Robinson on a fly ball, and that's been it in terms of a Twins threat against Johnny Cueto today. Outside, 2-1.
Well, if you're the Cincinnati Reds, you really hate losing probably your ace that has been your ace for the last 4 or 5 years in a guy like this. But with free agency, which he is eligible at the end of the year, can you afford him?
One hopper to Votto. Cueto to the bag. Herman retired one away. Sanford Health injury report with one gone in the Twins' fifth. Aaron Hicks 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts last night in the lineup again today for Rochester.
I think I read where I think Paul mentioned Terry Ryan mentioned that even though he's on his rehab assignment, he might take a little longer to come back before he's got to also play good down there.
Santana
get by the pitcher,
and Cueto off the mound makes a nice fielding play.
Good try by Santana right there, and I think the Twins would like to see him try that a little bit more. Remember, Billy Hamilton brought that ball with him, but it got to pass the pitcher. And Cueto right here off the mound pretty quickly makes the play.
Santana kind of chopped the bunt, and that gave Cueto a little time to run over under the hop. 2 down, and now Robinson.
I guarantee you, if Santana can master that and do what Hamilton does, is kind of bring it with him towards second base, get it by the pitcher, Santana could have a lot more hits.
Here's Robinson. Ooh, Robinson hit by a pitch up around the hand area. And Robinson will go to first.
Oh, that got him. Got him good.
Dave Prumer, the lead trainer, coming out, and that sounded bad. I'm just going to talk about the center field situation regarding Hicks, and really it goes back to last year. Let's see where the ball hit him here. At the elbow, maybe. Almost like it got him in the elbow.
Sure did.
But think back to last year as the Twins tried to find somebody out in center field who could just play regularly. And Hicks had a concussion. Sam Fuld had a concussion. This year, Jordan Schaefer won the job out of spring training. He had a knee injury. And now both Buxton and Hicks are hurt again. I mean, the problem at shortstop, with Robinson thankfully staying in the game going to first. Take another look here at where that ball hit him. It appeared to get him around the left elbow. Maybe in the back of the tricep area a little bit. But the problem for the Twins at short has been just poor play in the field or at the plate. Santana really struggling. Not last year, but this year Santana struggled, and the Twins have rotated a bunch of people through the shortstop position. Here's Trevor May poking it foul. But in center field, it's been one injury after another. Buxton looked like he was ready to take the job and run with it, and then he hurt his thumb.
Well, you know that he will be the future shortstop for the
center fielder.
Center fielder, but for the time being, Santana, who was a shortstop, is now out there, and he did a good job last year out there. But I think they see Santana as a future shortstop, Buxton the future center fielder. It's just that the Twins have a chance to maybe get the postseason, and you'd like these guys to stay healthy so the Twins can get there.
The hit batter allows May to hit, or at least try to hit, in the fifth.
welcome back. Both starters doing a great job, and you're right, only 280 more days until our birthday, and you are here by Circle. Don't forget it, Twin fans, at Twin home games, bring your Circle Me signs. And if you get circled, you may find yourself in the Minnesota Lottery's winner circle, where you could win $100 worth of lottery scratch-off tickets, courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery.
April 6th, as I recall.
Yeah. Actually, there's one more day because of leap year, so there's actually 281 more days. A lot of people don't know next year's leap year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that person there can say that they have their birthday on the same day as celebrity Bert Blyleven. But now who else?
Day.
Who else is?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's
your day.
It's my day. Yeah. Everybody else just passing through that day.
See, I share a birthday with Justin Bieber.
Wow. I wouldn't let a lot of people know that.
I got that going for me.
Wow.
Johnny Cueto.
Now yours is March 1st.
Yes.
Oh, you can always backdate it to the 29th.
Why? Because it's also Justin Bieber's birthday?
Yeah.
May throws a strike. Don't want to walk the pitcher. May struck him out in a key spot in the second inning. Reds had filled the bases with 3 singles, but then May got to work with 2 strikeouts and a line out to keep the Reds off the board. There's another strike, and it's 3-2.
Cueto begging right there. Kind of a cardinal sin if you walk the pitcher.
Struck him out, and Cueto looked like he made contact with Herman's glove again on the follow-through. We'll bring up Billy Hamilton. Join Fox Sports North at the next viewing party tomorrow at 6:30 at Park Tavern in St. Louis Park. You can watch the Twins take on the Royals. They'll have food and drink specials. You can register for tickets and prizes. Visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar.
Good job by Trevor May falling behind on Cueto and throwing him 3 strikes and getting him out, his 6th strikeout.
Here's Hamilton showing bunt and taking ball 1. Hamilton lined out to Santana to end the second inning threat. Fouled away.
You know, we see Trevor Plouffe in at third, so as a pitcher, and then when you face a guy like, say, when I faced Ricky Henderson and he's going to bunt, my responsibility is not only throw strikes to make him swing the bat, but also cover that area to my left. Trevor's going to take care of the third base side.
Jabbed at it.
See, if he bunts that ball right there, if I'm Trevor May, I have to get over there, because if Vargas has to go get it, he's got an infield bunt single.
Now Plouffe will release back near the edge of the grass. 1-2. Missed inside. What do you think of Hamilton? You've seen him play now in person 3 games.
Well, I think he brings a lot to the ballpark with him as far as being able to get on. But one thing you can't do is that you can't steal first. When he does get on, it's exciting to watch him.
Side 3-2.
You know, if he could hit, you know, he hit 250 last year, stole 56 bases, but got thrown out 23 times. If he can hit 250 or above, I think he's a nice asset to the organization. How about yourself?
See a lot of Ben Revere in this guy, but Revere could hit. Revere's a 300 hitter. This guy isn't that good. And now May avoided walking the pitcher, but now he's walked Hamilton, which is a bigger sin.
Right.
You can see the bunt single. That pretty much set the tone for Mike Pelfrey the other night. 4 stolen bases later, the Reds goes to do a win.
Well, you know he likes to run. That's his game. Kick the ball loose out of the ball of Trevor Plouffe, and then you know, even an infield hit, he can fly down that line. Stealing 40 bases, most in all of baseball.
Twice as many, more than twice as many as the aforementioned Ben Revere. Here's Phillips, double to the left field corner, leading off the third, and to this point has scored the only run of the game. Hamilton with a big lead, and May will throw over there.
Now Trevor May's pretty quick home. He'll utilize that slide step.
Opponents are 7 for 9 stealing bases against May and his catcher.
He does have one pickoff.
Long hold. And a step off.
A long hold because Hamilton will get out there and not move his feet. But once that pitcher starts to get into the stretch, the feet are always moving. And that's why the hold, I guess, is good, because then, you know, he can't get that balance because both feet are moving all the time. Just keeps creeping.
Inch or two at a time. Want to know.
And if you can make him stop, but what you're doing too as a pitcher, sometimes you're taking your focus away from what you're trying to accomplish, and that's to get the hitter out at home plate. That's where that speedy runner can affect a pitcher on the mound. So his feet aren't moving now. Now he's taking that lead, and there they go.
And then, of course, the concern that you're spending so much of your focus on the runner, you're not getting the hitter. 2-0. May have seen that the other night in the Milwaukee series when Eduardo Escobar cracked the big double.
Yeah, against Matt Garza. Garza kind of exploded after that.
And another one that'll go to the backstop, and Hamilton, who probably was going to end up at second base anyway, is there. That doesn't mean he's done as a base stealing threat, though. Another wild pitch charged to Trevor May.
Yeah, second wild pitch of the game for Trevor May, and that's his 4th of the year. So trying to hurry his throw sometimes can take away your control.
May having a hard time throwing strikes here. He nearly walked Cueto, fell behind him 3-0, but came back to strike him out. Did walk Hamilton. Now it's 3-0 to Phillips. And there's ball 4.
Back-to-back walks for May. Not missing by much. This is a high fastball.
And now Votto, who drove in the lone run so far with a fly ball his last time up.
Just looking at the middle infielders, who's going to try to keep Hamilton close, and it looks like Nunez, that's his job, pulling on his jersey.
Down and away, ball 1. May falling behind everybody here in the 5th.
Well, I think right now he's worried more about the runner Hamilton than he is about the hitter at the plate. Show him one time that you have that turnaround move to second, and then go about your business.
We've seen the Twins try this once. The old Baltimore Orioles pick off at first in this situation. And looking at Phillips, he's taking about a 30-foot lead. Vargas not the most athletic first baseman, but
he's taking the lead that Vargas is giving him, because Vargas is playing at deep first base. Billy Hatcher, the first base coach, will keep an eye on Vargas. If he starts creeping in, he'll yell at Phillips to get back.
In fact, Phillips is squared toward second base.
Right.
Votto fouls it off of either the catcher or the umpire. 1-2.
With the lead that Hamilton has at second base, Trevor Plou's going to go in and talk to him. But that's almost, if you've got a shortstop like we used to have Greg Gagne, that would give you the open glove. The lead that he has, you got a good chance of picking him off if you're quick enough to spin around and make a good throw chest high to Nunez if he's covering the bag.
1-2. May looking for a strikeout here or a ground ball hit at somebody. Check to swing. 2-2. Three and two.
Change up. Votto laid off of it right there.
He's had 3 ball counts to everybody this inning.
Joey Votto, 31 years old, 2010 National League MVP for the Cincinnati Reds when he hit .324, 37 home runs, drove in 113 runs. Came into this year, his 9th season, a .311 career hitter.
And the throw into left field, and it was a needless throw. A run will score. It was ball 4. And Herman looked over his right shoulder because he thought the pitch would be called a strike. But a throwing error, letting Hamilton come in after being on his way to third. He would have had third anyway because of the walk.
Yeah, it's a 3-2 pitch, and then Herman, for some reason, now he thought it was a strike, but still no excuse to airball that into left field. I mean, a good throw right there, even though that's just an error by Herman, that allows Hamilton to score. So 3rd walk in a row for Trevor May. Quick trip to the mound by Neil Allen.
Frazier at the plate. You can spend your summer at Target Field and become a Twins season ticket holder with the new Pick 10 plan. You pick 10 games that most appeal to you, and you can save off the box office price. Enjoy sweet spot benefits exclusive to Twins season ticket holders, including 10% off game day food and merchandise at Target Field. Learn more about package options. Visit twinsbaseball.com/pick10 or call 612-33-TWINS.
Well, we talked about the speed of Hamilton, what it does to a pitcher, also to a catcher, I think, right there. Herman just trying to hurry his throw, hoping that it was a called 3rd strike, and a mistake by Herman.
Infield fly rules called on this soft pop-up off the bat of Frazier. 2 down.
A big out right there for May.
Jay Bruce. Sometimes umpires give the physical sign for strike 3 late, but there's an immediate verbal called. Tim McClelland, as slow as he was with the right arm, he bellered it out right away, so everybody knew whether it was strike 3 or ball 4.
I remember that play last night that Trevor Plouffe had to get just over the bag. Didn't know if it was fair or foul, but he finished the play. And then Bob Davidson, the third base umpire, said it was foul. So there's sometimes, you know, where that umpire's behind you, you don't know. Maybe with the crowd noise, you're not sure. Hey, that looked like a pretty close pitch. I'm going to finish the play anyway. And that's what Herman, I think, was trying to do, but he just threw it into left field.
1 strike to Bruce. So far, just 1 run. The result of 3 walks here in the 5th inning.
Kind of what happened in the 2nd inning when there was 3 straight hits, but no run scored after Mays had a couple strikeouts after that.
Down and away. 1-1. The walk to Hamilton has completely changed this inning. There were 2 walks that followed, but it wasn't just the 1-out walk, but who was walked.
Right.
Completely, it appears from up here, to completely shifted May's focus a little bit. 1-1. Busted bat and a roller to second. Dozier has it. Vargas has it. 1 more for the Reds, and as we go to the 6th, it's 2-0 Cincinnati. Brian Dozier will lead it off for the Twins.
Well, he really has. You see where he ranks runs scored first in the American League, home runs, RBI, extra base hits. Definitely an all-star.
That's our belief and hope. You can vote for Brian Dozier on your 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot at twinsbaseball.com. Voting is exclusively online, available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. You can vote for some reason up to 35 times at twinsbaseball.com. How did they settle on the number 35?
I have no idea.
Remember, vote Dozier for this year's All-Star Game.
Yeah, Brian's having that type of year that if he doesn't make the All-Star team, it's kind of deflating, you know, a little bit. You know, Glenn Perkins is going to go 25 for 25 and save opportunities. But Brian is just getting better and better. Now, I know there's a lot of second basemen that are out there. Altuve, you know, Cano's having an off year.
Then, too, you'd like to, at least I do, as a baseball fan, you like to have teams representative of their success on the field. This is a team that's been above 500. At one point, it had the best record in baseball inside, but it's been above 500 almost all year long. Surprisingly to some, they're competitive, competing for a postseason berth. The team deserves more than one All-Star, and if there's a second All-Star, it should be Brian Dozier.
Oh, for sure.
2-2. But that was an issue going back to 1984. And Kent Hrbek, who had All-Star worthy numbers, but so too did some of his teammates on that 84 team, and the Twins got just Dave Engel going to the All-Star game. And there's a roll, and that's fair down the line. And the ball boy lets the ball go at the last instant, and not the typical Dozier double. He just stuck the bat out and rolled it down the line.
Well, that ball hugged that third baseline. You're just hoping that it wouldn't hit the bag and bounce straight up. So Brian just on a changeup, just dropping the bat right there, pretty much right down the line. Watch the ball boy right here, just trying to get out of the way.
He's ready to field it.
Oh, he forgot his chair. Okay, pick up your chair. Did not make contact.
Reds got their first run after a leadoff double. We'll see what the Twins can do here with Nunez at the plate, and he bunts foul. Anyway, Kent Hrbek boycotted the All-Star game because he felt the team was snubbed, not himself personally, but that the team was snubbed in 1984. Team ended up 500, but they had a lead in the division going into the last week of the season. One strike to Nunez. Rosario will follow. Had one other opportunity to score against Cueto, and that came in the second when the Twins started with two singles. 1-1. An extra run that the Reds got in the fifth inning. A big run now because the Twins have the tying run at second with nobody out. Nunez lifts it foul.
Yeah, Cueto does a good job of adding, subtracting. We showed you his delivery, how he'll go about changing his delivery a little bit, but also the ball going toward home plate. Good changeup, breaking ball. Then he'll add and subtract on the fastball. 89 major league wins, only 62 losses for Cueto.
Well, if imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, it makes you wonder why more pitchers don't do what Cueto does.
He feels comfortable doing it. A lot of pitchers just don't.
2-2. Lifted foul. Now your delivery, did it change at all from year 1 to year 22?
I don't believe so, other than my arm angle. As I got older, my arm didn't want to get on top anymore. It started to drop. But no, I changed my arm angle. That's about all I did. As far as what Cueto does, no. Again, Jimmy Cott, Kitty Cott, pretty much resurrected his career as long as it was 25, 26 years. But those years he had in Chicago, unbelievable.
Drop to the right side. Cueto will field it, run to the bag himself, and on the play, Dozier goes to third.
Well, it's a productive out right there, even though, you'd need more than one run. You want to get on the board first against Cueto.
Mountain Dew fans of the game hoping the Twins could come back and win this game. And hoping that Rosario can get the Twins on the board here in the 6th. Well, you mentioned Luis Tiant. And for what I remember of Tiant early in his career with the Indians and then briefly with the Twins, he did not do what he later did with the Red Sox, turning his back to the hitter and pivoting his hips and all that. That came later.
Right, and it's the same thing for Cueto. It's only been a couple years that he has done the show the number and all that stuff. But it's, again, he has a lot of confidence out there that he can do all that other stuff, but still get that release point out front and make good quality pitches home.
Rosario lifts it foul, and the fact that the Reds lead by 2, not 1, has allowed them to play the infield back here.
They'll concede a run. All Rosario has to do is just get the ball past the pitcher if he's going to hit it on the ground somewhere. Keep it away from Frazier at third. And Cueto, what he wants a strikeout here.
Got Rosario leading off the 4th to swing at strike 3.
Remember, he went up the ladder with him to strike him out. That high fastball that Rosario could not lay off of.
0-2 to Rosario. High chopper, and it'll score the run. And Rosario retired. Dozier in. It's a 2-1 ball game.
Rosario picking up an RBI, his 18th. He looked like Cueto wanted to go with that high fastball, and Rosario just kind of beat it into the ground and got it past the pitcher, over his head actually.
And now with the bases empty, Plouffe full bat.
So Dozier scores again for the 61st time of the year.
Leading the major leagues in runs scored now by 3 over Josh Donaldson and Brett Gardner. Down and away, ball 1. Ooh. 1-1. Trevor thought that hit the corner. High and deep to center. Hamilton going back and on the track makes a catch. Twins get one back thanks to Dozier's leadoff double, and it's 2-1.
Test drive one at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us.
There are at least two possible explanations as to why the Twins have a new left fielder. Shane Robinson hasn't been feeling well. He was scratched from the lineup yesterday. Then, too, he was hit in the left elbow by a pitch. So, for those reasons or an undisclosed reason, the Twins are putting Escobar now in left, and Robinson is out of the game.
Yeah, at the bottom of last inning with 2 outs. Cueto throwing a pitch inside that got Robinson. Yeah, right in the tricep area.
1 strike to Brian Pena. Will be followed by Marlon Byrd and then Suarez. 2-1 ball game. And a breaking ball on the outside corner, 0-2.
Pena, a switch hitter, doing a real good job as a left-handed hitter, hitting .331 in his second season with the Reds. Played with the Braves, the Royals, the Tigers. 11 major league seasons.
1-2. Twins saw him, of course, when he was backup catcher with the Royals. Pena with a foul, at bat still alive. Probably good for Pena that he got out of Kansas City, given the fact that Salvador Perez is pretty much an everyday catcher. Pena this year has 186 at bats. How many years would he have had to play in Kansas City to get that many at bats behind Sal Perez?
About as many as Drew Butera has in the big leagues.
And May can't feel it. Good thing he didn't deflect it. That's a close play, but Pena retired by a step. Plouffe behind second base, making the play. 1 down. That'll bring up Byrd. It's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag North Data Strong Fan, and you might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Now, what do you think makes a strong fan photo? Strength is not an adjective I would often use to describe a photograph. Well, that's a strong picture of you on your 1973 Topps baseball card.
You would maybe, you know, that big glove that's out by Target Field. Maybe, maybe something like that.
Byrd with a 1-0 count. Busted his bat, 1-1. Join us for the Lynx Night Out ticket offer. Welcomed by Fox Sports North. It costs $30. You get a ticket to the game, craft beer sampling. That caught your attention, didn't it?
Sure
and a
did.
commemorative Lynx beer stein. The offer is valid for games on July 3rd, 17th, and September 4th, which is a bit odd because the Twins are in Kansas City on July 3rd. For details, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events for details. Oh, it's the Lynx game. I got it. I'm sorry. 5 hours of sleep last night, and sometimes the neurons don't
go
connect.
Lynx.
Go Lynx.
Good breaking ball right there by May. So May trying to keep his club in the game. The error by Herman is a deciding run right now.
One and two to Byrd.
Pitch number 92 for May.
2-2. Popped up short center. Santana coming in. 2 down. Well, it's not an insignificant move that the Twins have had to make for whatever reason, putting Escobar into left field, because that means the Twins have just 3 bench players left, Suzuki, Mauer, and Hunter, and pitcher spot's going to come up at least one more time.
Kind of nice to have 3 all-stars on your bench.
Here is Suarez. doink to right. Rosario makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3-6 for Trevor May. Twins need to get one to tie it up. It'll be Vargas, Herman, Santana, and then Escobar, and maybe a few more.
Third inning. That against Trevor May. Phillips started off with a double, wild pitch to third, then the sacrifice fly, made him 1-0 lead. And then Hamilton scoring right there on the overthrow by Herman. And against Cueto, Rosario getting the only RBI as Dozier scores, but Cueto with 6 strikeouts, no walks in a ball game, 1-hit batsman.
So the Twins down a run to Cueto and the Reds as we move to the 7th. Kenny Vargas will lead things off. Vargas, Herman, and Santana due up. Down and away, ball 1. Vargas has one of the hits for the Twins. There have only been 3 of them. He singled on the first pitch he saw in the second. 2-0. This is where the big man needs to start driving the ball. He's in a favorable count. And as the Twins look forward to the next 3 months, they're looking for a little more pop from Vargas. And he rolls it to the right side. Votto scoops it up. Cueto to the bag. 1 away. And we'll bring up Chris Herman. We've got, I believe, what we figured, from 12 all the way up to like 27 covered with this answer. The record for wins in the month of July is 23 in 1969. And of course the All-Star break was a 3-day break back then, but they still got 30 games in.
Yeah, 1969, Billy Martin was a manager. Twins.
Harmon Killebrew's MVP season, and Harmon would have celebrated his 76th birthday a couple days ago. We neglected to mention that when we were, I think it was when we were in Milwaukee, or was it the first night here? At any rate, 1 strike to Herman. After a high fastball, 2 strikes.
Cueto right now at 80 pitches, 57 have been strikes.
Showed you the list of teams that are right about where the Twins are, and a couple of teams, only 2 in the American League with a better record. One of those teams, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and it sure sounds like they've got a mess going on there. General manager Jerry Dipoto has apparently cleaned out his office. A bit of a power struggle between him and Mike Scioscia. It's tough. Managerial replacements in the middle of the season are tough, but boy, a general manager just packing up and leaving. Just off the outside corner, 3-2, and Cueto looking off in the distance. He thought he'd hit that corner of the pitch before as well.
Let's see what Fox Track says right here.
It was outside. Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. 3-2 to Herman. That's ball 4.
Cueto walking his first batter.
And Santana will come up. Santana 0 for 2. Struck out in the second, tried to bunt his way aboard in the fifth, and Cueto made a nice play to retire him. And Santana, like Vargas, Twins need to see some extra base pop from Santana. Busted bat. Out at second. And a relay to first that will sail or bounce past Votto, and Santana will end up at second base. That's a costly throwing error by Eugenio Suarez. Potentially big throwing error.
Yeah, you got to kind of know who's running too, and Suarez maybe knew Santana was running. It's got to be a quick throw over that one hops and actually to the right of Votto that he's unable to get a glove on and at least knock it down. Goes into the camera well. Santana and his speed trying to stay out of the double play, and he does.
Good throw, though. Would have been a very close play. The bottom line is the Twins have the tying run at second with 2 down and Escobar at the plate. Hit to the outfield should tie the game, and Escobar takes strike 1. We've not been given word as to why Shane Robinson was taken out of the game.
Escobar hitting better as a left-handed hitter, hitting .274.
Now outside 1-1 with Trevor May on deck, but of course the Reds aren't going to be duped into thinking that May is actually going to hit here. If Escobar reaches, the Twins will go to their bench for Hunter, Mauer, Suzuki. 1-1. 2-1. Well, that this threat even exists is because Cueto issued a walk to Chris Herman, and walks were instrumental in the Reds getting their go-ahead run, or their second run in the 5th inning. May walked 3 men in the inning. Boyer and Graham warming up in the Twins pen. 2-1. And now 2-2. Big spot here for Escobar, who's gotten a lot of clutch hits in his time with the Twins. Takes up high. Full count. May on deck, but again, Mauer, Hunter, and Suzuki are available.
See what Cueto throws here on a 3-2 pitch with that pitcher spot on deck. And Pena, I think, wants to go over what they want to do here.
Escobar strikes out about once every 4 times. You know, and it used to be when someone struck out once every 4 times, when you said that or wrote it, you put an exclamation mark at the end of the sentence. So this guy strikes out once every 4 times. That's the norm in baseball now.
Yeah. No choking up. They're still swinging hard.
Full count to Escobar. Takes a called 3rd strike.
Wow.
And the Twins leave Santana at second. It's still 2-1.
Well, it looked like a changeup here.
all-time hits leader, Pete Rose, may be banned from baseball for life, but he's still such a part of Reds history that the architect here at Great American Ballpark decided to pay a very subtle tribute to him when they built this building. You can see the smokestacks out in center field. There are bats at the top, and if you count them, there are 7 in each bat rack for a total of 14, which would be Pete Rose's number, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie.
There was growing sentiment that perhaps the stars would align and Pete Rose would be admitted into baseball during the All-Star Game festivities here, but then the revelations last week, I suspect, poured several buckets of ice cold water on that notion.
That's a shame. It really is.
1 strike. Cueto hitting here with a 1-run lead in the 7th. Chopped to the left side, and it'll bleed through. Cueto's aboard. His 6th hit of the year. And he gets a leadoff single here in the 7th. Brian Price a little handicapped with his bench as well. Twins are, I'm sure, hoping that Cueto would have been pinch hit for there just to get him out of the game, but he's in, he's on base, and now Hamilton will bat.
Yeah, his pitch count's still okay. Cueto with 90 pitches after 7 innings, and he's a guy that normally will go over 100 pitches.
Hamilton walked and scored in the 5th.
Now you really have to take the bunt away, especially May. He has to cover that first baseline. Right there.
Beautiful bunt. Going to have a tough time getting it out.
That's why when you let that ball go, you've got to almost get over there as quick as possible. And Vargas, he has to come in. Dozier has to be at first. It's hard to defend a guy that's able to bunt like Hamilton can. You see what he does. I mean, he squares around. He doesn't try to take it with him. He knows even a good bunt, he's going to beat it out.
We all have great images of Rod Carew bunting on the grass at Metropolitan Stadium or the other stadiums of that era. So I asked him once how he felt he would have bunted on artificial turf, and he did some of that too. And he said when he went on turf, he would do what Hamilton just did. You bunt the bottom half of the ball and just pop it up gently and let it back up. But there was no chance the Twins were going to get an out on that play. First and second, nobody out.
Yes, Phillips going to bunt right here, and he does.
Oh my, they got him at third. May taking a huge risk, but it paid off. And Cueto, by just a narrow margin, is forced at third base.
Well, it's a force out, so Trevor Plouffe becomes a first baseman, and he stretches out. And yeah, he got him.
They got him. Such a, I thought, good bunt, but that could be a pivotal play in this game.
That's a good reaction by May right there. You have to almost listen to your catcher. I'm sure Herman's screaming at him. Third. And here comes Paul Molitor out.
Left-hand hitting Votto is due up. And the Twins are going to bring in a lefty trying to stay within striking distance. The Reds leaving their starter in, and now with 2 on and 1 out in the 7th, the Twins take theirs out. A much more encouraging outing for Trevor May here this afternoon.
Yeah, he pitched well. He really did.
Outstanding performance by Aaron Thompson. High fastball got him. Good inning for Presley.
We're the forgetful heroes. No matter how many outs we're supposed to get, 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's just our job.
And as the Twins play their first game of the month of July, they'd like to tighten things up throughout the bullpen a little bit. And Aaron Thompson gets the call here with runners at first and second and 1 out.
Yeah, Aaron making his 38th relief appearance. He worked here on Monday night. He did have a shutout inning in the Twins' 11-7 loss.
Decent opponent batting average, 263. Not an inordinately high number of walks. 11, 2 of those intentional. Just a couple of home runs. But a much better first 6 weeks than second 6 weeks of the first half for Thompson. Big spot here with the Twins in a 1-run game. Votto takes ball 1.
Yeah, Aaron did not have a good month of June. 6 2/3 innings total in the month of June and 12 relief appearances. Gave up 8 earned runs.
And that's why the ERA is now over 5. These are inherited runners and very important runners for Thompson to strand. A strike 1-1. That time he didn't even look at the runners.
I was kind of going, whoa, you got to keep an eye on Hamilton.
Hamilton wants third base. Phillips runs well at first, and Thompson had better at least look at them once. And the inside move. And I suppose you can, as a pitcher out there, set up a base runner into thinking you're ignoring them. Thompson looked at him once and then used the inside move. That's something that worked with Tommy Malone earlier this year. One and 1. 2 and 1. Just see how concerning blazing speed is. And again, on the plus side, Twins are looking forward to when Byron Buxton can provide that element on the bases. And the Twins will go from here, and over the course of the 4 games, Jarrod Dyson will do some of that for the Royals.
Yep. Oh, they thought about it.
Phillips in particular ended up about halfway towards second base. Two and 2. Votto deliberate in the batter's box. I wonder what that's about. You wonder in a swing whether somebody didn't torque something, twist something, but he was definitely a little deliberate in the box.
You know, he's trying to pick up the ball, and then all of a sudden you see that base runner taking off. Sometimes, you know, you might swing out of the pitch that you don't want to.
He's stopped by Herman.
That's where sometimes, you know, a fast base runner like Hamilton maybe could distract the hitter to swing at a pitch. Herman doing a good job of keeping the ball in front of him.
Twins have issued 3 walks, and they came in succession in the 5th inning and led to the second run for the Cincinnati Reds. Frazier on deck with 1 out. Runner stay put, and the pitch lifted to left center, chased by Escobar, and he's there for the catch. Hamilton will retouch and be unable to advance. 2 down. And we'll see if the Twins make another pitching change here. Saturday, the Rays head to the Bronx to take on the Yankees in a game you can only see on Fox Sports 1 beginning at 11:30 a.m. Central. Then at 6 p.m. Baseball Night in America. The Twins taking on the Royals on your local Fox station. And it's all this week on your home for baseball every Saturday, Fox and Fox Sports 1.
I think what you might see is a double switch coming here. Paul Molitor kind of motioning to Herman to go out and talk, and he was looking up the tunnel, so somebody maybe going to get a glove or something. But
pitcher's spot is due up to lead off the 8th inning. And now Paul Molitor will be doing his first double switch And he needs to first go to Hunter Wendelstedt.
Right.
And explain what he's going to do. The Twins are going to bring in a pitcher. And then take a position player. And the most logical choice would be Escobar, but now it's Suzuki. They were waiting for Suzuki to get on the gear. And so Herman is replaced. Suzuki will lead off the 8th inning, and the pitcher spot now will be 6th in the Twins lineup card.
Retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Tight ball game, the type we typically see in National League ballparks. And now J.R. Graham will be asked to get one of the best hitters in the National League, Todd Frazier.
Yeah, we have not seen J.R. Graham put into these spots too often, but he's been throwing the ball pretty well as of late. His last 3 outings, a total of 6 innings, no runs allowed with only 4 hits, 3 walks with 6 strikeouts, making his 22nd appearance. He did make 1 start against the Brewers back in early June.
Suzuki behind the plate, the double switch involving the battery mates. And it seems like J.R. Graham's first pitch is always
up in the zone.
Mid-90s fastball, about neck high. 1-0.
We don't know. All we were told was.
Then he paints the corner at 95.
You know, sometimes it's difficult for a reliever coming out of these bullpens that are kind of like little tunnels here. You're not really out in the open. Good fastball there.
1-1.
And you walk out, all of a sudden the surroundings are like mammoth.
You know, it depends on how Graham handles situations like this, but I really think he's poised to play a much larger role in the second half than what we saw in the first half. If he can throw it over and if he can work ahead in the count, I can see him getting much more critical spots rather than long relief spots.
And his control is getting better. In the month of June, 15 in the 3rd innings, only 4 walks with 10 strikeouts. So
1-2 to Frazier.
Job of attacking the zone.
Suzuki backhands a breaking ball, 2-2. Roll to the right side. Frazier just trying to make contact, and J.R. Graham gets the final out of the 7th. We head to the 8th in a 1-run game. Listening to Anthony Lepanto is also listening. They're trying to bring the Macarena back here in Cincinnati. Remember when you and I did that a long time ago, but we tried to do it.
We tried to do it, yes.
Kurt Suzuki will lead off the 8th against Johnny Cueto.
Yeah, Cueto 91 pitches, 61 strikes. His longest outing of the year for Cueto, 8 1/3 innings. Trying to get 8 here if he can.
1 strike to Suzuki. He'll be followed by Dozier and then Nunez. Then the way the revised lineup card looks, then Rosario, Plouffe, Vargas the pitcher spot, and the Twins of course have Hunter and Mauer available. 2 strikes, hoping to get there, if not this inning, next inning. This game not unlike the series finale here a few years ago when the Reds and Twins had a low scoring ball game and the Reds took a lead in to the late innings, and then Mauer hit his 9th inning double. Willingham hit his 9th inning home run against Chapman. And if they don't get to Cueto here in the 8th, they'll be faced with that very same prospect in the 9th. Chapman coming in a close ball game. 1-2 to Suzuki. Up high, 2-2. And he got him on an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, it looked like the changeup right there, and strikeout number 8 for Cueto. All the turning, the head movement, and almost like a split finger.
1 down, and now Dozier, who hooked a double over the third base bag, leading off the 6th. He later scored on a ground ball. That's been it for Twins scoring here against Johnny Cueto. Outside ball 1.
Hey, go back 3 years ago. He started against the Twins here. He shut the door for 7 innings and a 6-0 win over the Twins.
2-0. Dozier's 16 home runs are tied for 9th in the American League. League leader is Albert Pujols with 24. Teammate Mike Trout has 20. Tapped foul, 2-1. Dozier are now tied with Jason Kipnis for the league lead in doubles.
Pitch number 100 for Cueto.
Foul ball, and it's 2-2.
Now Cueto making his 27th interleague start. He's 13-6 in interleague play since 2008. Very good earned run average. You see how he has fared per inning.
Two and two. Popped up, backing out of play. Dozier and Josh Donaldson are the only players in the top 10 in both home runs and doubles in the American League. The Twins will take one or the other here. Down and away, 3-2.
Tried the change up right there.
Bounced foul. Dozier staying alive with a couple of 2-strike fouls. Now with a full count. Nunez on deck. Hit hard to right field. Bruce back. And near the edge of the track makes the catch. 2 down. We'll bring up Nunez. You can follow live Twins baseball every day with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected to the Twins all season with MLB.tv game of the day, in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. 2 down here in the 8th, and now Nunez. One and 0 to Nunez. Held hitless today. 2-0.
Talked about Cueto, not turning and showing his numbers, but against Nunez, it seems like he does this more. The last first 2 pitches, not really spinning, just like that.
There's a strike. Well, maybe it's a form of competition or extra quirk to a fellow Dominican.
Yeah, now he turned.
There's a ball punched to right, a base hit.
Well, he must have known something. As soon as I turn, Nunez is going to get a hit. And he does.
And that'll bring up Rosario.
Only the 4th hit for the Twins. But you have the speedy Nunez at first base. Rosario with 5 doubles, couple triples.
Has driven in the only run so far with a chopper over the mound. 154 at bats and 11 extra base hits. Ooh, Nunez was shifting toward second base. Twins would of course love to have had Dozier on base. He's 7 for 10 in stolen bases. Nunez is 3 for 6.
Cueto very hard to run on. Very good quick pickoff move. He has 23 pickoff moves, 1 this year. And opponents over his career, only 23 stolen bases. They've been caught 37 times. Now he's been called 4 times for balks already this year.
Where's Joe West when you need him?
Good changeup right there. Rosario way out front.
Rosario with a fly to left, a strikeout in the 4th, and then the chopper to Suarez that scored Dozier from third base. A Upstairs again for a swinging strike 2.
Yeah, low 80s changeup and then the 93-mile-an-hour fastball up.
Nunez goes, and the pitch hit high and deep to right field, to the corner. Bruce drifting, and he makes the catch. Rosario got underneath it.
Yes, he did.
Just a little bit. We saw Aroldis Chapman close a game here 2 nights ago and get the save. We saw Glenn Perkins get the save last night. Stands to reason one of them is going to get into the 9th inning here this afternoon. Against J.R. Graham. Difference in the game, the 3 walks and the throwing error by Chris Herman on the 3rd walk. And the Twins survived 3 errors late in the game last night, picked up a win, and they're hoping that the 1 error that they committed here today doesn't cost them a game.
Remember in last night's ball game, Bruce led off an inning, and with the shift already put on, I said, I wonder why he doesn't try to push that ball toward 3rd. Well, he just tried it and bunted it foul.
1 strike from Graham. And an off-speed pitch gets a swing and a miss. West, the Angels have confirmed Jerry Dipoto has resigned abruptly as the general manager of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim in an apparent power struggle with Mike Scioscia. 1-2. Chopper to Dozier. Second hop, chest high, 1 away. And that'll bring up Brian Pena. And congratulations to Andy MacPhail, your former boss. Who actually signed your checks when you played for the Twins? Was it the general manager, the president? They just hand over a bundle of cash? What did they do?
I remember getting a check. I played the game for free.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Andy MacPhail signed your checks as the general manager. I don't know whether Terry Ryan signs them now, Dave St. Peter. At any rate, the guy who used to be the general manager for the Twins is going to be the new president of the Philadelphia Phillies. Tap foul, a strike.
Well, it's an organization that is almost what Cincinnati's doing here. They got to see what they can do to bring up some young talented kids and make the right moves for the organization. So now it's in the hands of Andy MacPhail to try to put that winning club and history of the Phillies back together again.
Phillies have the worst record in baseball, and that unfortunately I don't think comes as a surprise to too many people. Pena takes up and away 1-1.
It'll be interesting throughout the summer, especially this month, as the trading deadline is at the end of the month, what this ball club does here, the Cincinnati Reds. What direction do they want to go? You know, they're in a tough division with the Cardinals, the Pirates, even the Cubs.
Slap down the line foul. You look at it, no, it hasn't gone well. They're 6 games below the 500 mark. But if the Reds were in the American League East, they'd be 5 games out of first. But they're not.
Right.
They're in the Central and the National League, 16 behind the Cardinals. 1-2. To the right side, Vargas makes the catch and wins the race to the bag.
Good changeup right there by Graham. So Graham mixing in all his pitches right here. Did a good job of retiring Frazier to end the third. Now he's looking for the third out here in the 8th.
There would have been a terrible collision at first base between Vargas and Pena if they had each kept running at one another.
That's that split finger that I think that he threw right there, and it ends up being a good result. Yeah, you don't want to run into Vargas. I think Pena slowed down a little bit.
2 down, and now Marlon Byrd. It'll almost certainly be Chapman on the mound in the 9th, and the Twins are scheduled to send up Plouffe, Vargas, and then the pitcher spot with Hunter and Mauer available. Swing and a miss.
Good breaking ball by Graham.
You'd have to say, wouldn't you, that Graham has handled this situation. That was a high test situation he was brought into here with 2 men on and 2 out in the 7th.
For sure, and he did a great job
against arguably the most productive hitter in the National League. And now the first 2 outs have come quickly here in the 8th. Every team will be looking for bullpen help in the second half. There's Chapman loose already. But sometimes that help can come from within. You just move roles around and move people into different spots. 2-1. And the thing, of course, you don't know is how players beyond Graham, but certainly including Graham too, how they're going to respond if in fact the Twins have meaningful games in July, August, and September. The pressure, the magnitude of the games, the at-bats, the innings will all be magnified with every passing week.
Well, pressure is nothing more than you put on yourself. And, you know, Graham, like I mentioned, coming in, his last 3 starts, they stretched him out a little, but all 3 went 2 innings each outing. And he pitched well. So they're giving him that star right now, and hopefully he can take it. You know, Willie Stargell was here. If Graham gets out of the inning, he'd have a gold star in his locker.
Oh, is that right?
For a great job, yeah. See if he gets a star. I think he's going to get a star.
Might get a cluster before it's all said and done. 4 up, 4 down. Nice inning in the bottom of the 8th. We'll see if the Twins can get a run on the top of the 9th. little bit of a delay here. The Twins are trailing 2-1. Chapman came to the mound and has not.
Well, I think he wants the mound fixed a little bit.
Okay, the crew chief, Hunter Wendelstedt, went over and talked to a groundskeeper, might be the head groundskeeper, and there's a little something that needs to be done to Chapman's satisfaction on the mound. The scheduled hitters are Plouffe, Vargas, and the pitcher Graham. In reality, it looks like it's going to be Plouffe, Hunter, and Mauer.
Yeah, we'll see if it's the landing area or the right near the pitching area. It's a landing area that he would like to have fixed. Of course, everybody lands in different spots, and a lot of times you create a hole, and that next pitcher doesn't like that hole, and see if they fill it up.
Within his outing on Monday, he threw the hardest pitch recorded in baseball this year.
Well, he had no trouble against the Twins. He struck out all 3 batters he faced. Something that Chapman is known for. He'll be making his 35th relief appearance. 33 1/3 innings. He has 59 strikeouts.
The pitch he threw to strike out Dozier was recorded, 103.7 miles per hour, besting his own record for the hardest recorded pitch thrown this year.
Yeah, I mentioned the other night that I looked it up, and they said he threw a pitch against Tony Gwynn Jr. back in 2010 in September. It was clocked at 105.1 miles an hour.
Well, it stands to reason, though. He's a couple years older. He's lost a little bit off his fastball. Well, Chapman now will get a few more warm-up tosses, and then he'll face Plouffe, and then it looks like Hunter will hit for Vargas, and Mauer will hit in the pitcher spot. Twins throwing all they have at Chapman here in the 9th inning. And again, it's reminiscent of the game here, the series finale on a Sunday afternoon, when the Twins had split the first 2 games. They were down a run in the final game. Joe Mauer had maybe one of his better at bats in his career, and that double set up Willingham's home run.
And that was a blast, and Chapman knew it.
And the Twins got out of town in a hurry, stealing one from the Reds in the series finale. Another 1-run lead here for the Reds. Chapman on the mound, and it'll be Plouffe, then Hunter, and then Mauer. Trevor's 1 for 3 today. Breaking ball, strike 1.
He has that hard breaking ball, and then of course the good fastball. Chapman in his 6th season with the Reds.
Popped up near the mound, and Chapman runs out of the way, and Votto makes the catch, 1 away. That'll bring up Hunter. From here, the Twins get back into the American League Central. They open up a 4-game series with the Royals. As you look at what's next, brought to you by CenturyLink.
Kyle Gibson will be pitching in front of family and friends in Kansas City against 6'10" Chris Young.
Vargas had gone 1 for 3, and he'll be lifted here for Mauer, who will hit ahead of Hunter. In regular season at bats, there are a couple that really stand out for Joe when he's faced the best in the game. One was at home against Greinke a few years ago, and then this at bat he had here, 2 strikes, fouled off some pitches, and ended up cracking a double to the left field corner. 1-0. Strike on the outside corner at an even 100.
I always say pitcher's pitch, but at 100 miles an hour, that I don't even know if that's a pitcher's pitch. That's an awesome pitch. Put that in a jar.
2-1.
He can get wild. He does have 19 walks in the 33 innings pitched.
Lifted foul. 2-2. There were actually 3 great at bats in that game years ago. Scott Rowland had a similar at bat for the Reds. And then Mauer came up in the 9th. Willingham hit his bomb. Move some puzzle pieces around here. Mauer with the big at bat. He'd love to get a board here in front of Hunter. Two and 2. Strikeout for out number 2.
101 outer half of the plate. Almost unhittable. Well, against Joe Mauer, a little pitch by pitch. Chapman challenging, high fastball. And then a perfect pitch. Wow. That's nasty. And then he missed again outside. Joe fouling off a high fastball. And Chapman coming back with almost that strike 2 pitch.
Last hope for the Twins, Torrey Hunter. Been their most powerful hitter on this road trip with 4 home runs. Inside. It was just a get me over fastball at 99 that didn't get over. Ball 1. Pretty good 2-man pitching tandem. Cueto and now Chapman. And it's anybody's guess whether they will even be here by the end of July.
Pena knocked it down, but when it came back to him.
Got the rebound.
Well, catchers are taught to keep the ball in front of you. Ball hitting the backstop. And Pena right there. So see, I kept it in front of me.
Two and 1. 3 and 1. Santana on deck. Torrey's second pinch hitting appearance of the season. To right center field. Hamilton over. Dives and makes the catch to end the game. Fine catch by Hamilton in center. And the Reds take 2 out of 3 from the Twins.
Torrey caught up to that fastball, but the defense of Billy Hamilton ends the ball game. Torrey hitting it sharply. Looks like it might be in the gap, but there's that speedster. He's been a pest for the last 3 games. We don't have to see him anymore.
Well, the Twins lost 2 out of 3 in Milwaukee, and Anthony, 2 out of 3 have been lost here in Cincinnati. And the month of July starts with a loss.